Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Capital Edge Tip Line. I'm Chad Braley, the CEO at Capital Edge, and happy to be back with you this week. This week, we're going to talk about a little controversial topic, DEI. So we have obviously a fairly new executive order 14398, addressing DEI discrimination by federal contractors, which was effective March 26th of 2026, 3/26/26. And important because although this just came out as of Friday, April 10th, we also have our first contractor settlement regarding a DEI False Claims Act allegation to the tune of $17 million, which early indications are is somewhat reduced due to contractor cooperation, disclosure, et cetera. So that's a pretty big first settlement, and likely many others in process or to come. And I think while this topic is very controversial, it's something that from a contractor community standpoint we absolutely have to pay attention to. So 14398, right, addressing DEI discrimination by federal contractors, is a pretty significant expansion of the previous executive orders as it relates to DEI, right? This is applying, and they use terms like contracts and contract-like instruments, right? And we have very specific definitions of, what's a contract, what's a grant, what's an OTA, et cetera. So this is contract and contract-like instruments, and applicable to all contractors and subcontractors under those contracts or contract-like instruments. So very all-encompassing, something that that I think the community definitely needs to pay attention to. Obviously, something that the DOJ is very willing to enforce and likely to get more aggressive in enforcing now that we have kind of this new overarching, right? We're still waiting on, obviously, a FAR rule, but this is going to, violations obviously can result in, we already have a settlement, so, significant fines and penalties. There's also obviously the option to cancel, whether it be the solicitation up front or cancel the award up front, terminate the contract, right, or suspend the contract for proper remediation and investigation. So cancellation, termination, and suspension are pretty big deals, not to mention, False Claims Act liability. So what do you need to do, right? I think, from a contractor standpoint, we've got to look at our policies and procedures, make sure those are very clear, current, updated, and address all of the illegal DEI as it relates to the executive order, right? We're going to have to think about supply chain certifications for subcontractors, making sure that we're getting as the prime and properly managing and monitoring and overseeing our subcontractors, that we're getting certifications from them that they're in compliance with this in order to protect ourselves. Right, maintaining documentation and records, right? Document. We say that from an audit perspective, right? This is no different from a compliance perspective, just a different compliance requirement. And then making sure that our people are appropriately trained from an internal perspective on what the new requirements are, what we can and what we can't do, and what is viewed as, in theory, illegal DEI. Now, there's, I'm sure to be more cases around this, and I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to pontificate right on the outcomes of those. But this is a real rule. It's much more encompassing than I think what we've seen that in the past. That started last January of 2025. And something to be taken very seriously. So wanted to kind of put that out there. We've not had a settlement yet. Now we have a settlement again as of April 10th. I'm not going to get into the weeds and details of that, but just wanted to put it out there for the community, something to hopefully you're paying attention to. If you're not paying attention to it, and maybe you're thinking, well, this is really just a prime thing, I'm second tier, I'm third tier subcontractor, like this is flowing down. This is going to be in your contracts, your subcontracts, and or your contract like instruments that you may be performing on. So something that at every level of the supply chain we need to make sure we're compliant with. So Hopefully this has been helpful. Would appreciate, any feedback, any other questions, you know, via this post. Happy to answer those. And until next time, we look forward to seeing you. Take care. Bye.